In the sun-drenched courts of antiquity, a queen bathed in a golden elixir, not merely for vanity, but for a profound, mind-altering vitality. Cleopatra submerged herself in waters steeped with a crimson thread so precious it rivaled gold, a substance believed to elevate the spirit and heal the body. What was the true nature of this enigmatic flower, and how did its grueling harvest forge an empire of ancient medicine? The answer lies within the delicate petals of Crocus sativus, a fall-blooming perennial that yields the world's most labour-intensive spice. Saffron is derived exclusively from the three vivid crimson stigmas of this flower, each hand-picked during a fleeting autumn window before the sun withers the delicate threads. It requires roughly 150,000 individual flowers to produce a single kilogram of the dried spice, demanding an astonishing physical toll. This staggering scarcity elevated the crimson threads to a high-value medicinal commodity across the ancient world. In ancient Persia, healers wove the spice into the very fabric of their pharmacopoeia, prescribing it to melancholy minds and weary bodies. They recognized a profound transformation in their patients, documenting how the vibrant threads seemed to dispel shadows of the mind long before modern science could explain the mechanisms at play. Today, we understand that these ancient observations were rooted in complex chemistry, specifically the presence of potent phytochemicals. These are biologically active compounds found in plants that offer protective health benefits, and in this crimson stigma they exist in extraordinary concentrations. Researchers have isolated the exact molecules responsible for the spice's legendary effects, bridging the gap between ancient intuition and modern pharmacological validation. The demand for this natural mood enhancer fueled vast, winding trade routes that connected the Mediterranean to the Himalayas. Merchants risked their lives transporting the delicate cargo across unforgiving deserts, knowing that emperors and physicians would pay exorbitant sums. The spice became a currency of health, influencing diplomatic relations and shaping the economic landscapes of entire civilizations that coveted its restorative power. Modern clinical studies now focus on crocin, the primary water-soluble carotenoid responsible for the stigma's brilliant golden yellow hue. This remarkable compound does more than dye royal garments. It actively crosses the blood-brain barrier to interact with human neurochemistry. Scientists have observed crocin protecting brain cells from oxidative stress, offering a compelling explanation for why ancient texts revered the flower as a protector of mental acuity. The echoes of those early Persian remedies resonated deeply with Greek physicians like Hippocrates. He incorporated the threads into treatments for sleeplessness and heart ailments, trusting the empirical evidence passed down through generations of traders and healers. The Mediterranean world quickly adopted the botanical treasure, weaving its use into their own sophisticated medical frameworks and expanding its therapeutic repertoire. Alongside crocin, laboratories have isolated saffronal, the volatile oil responsible for the spice's distinct hay-like aroma. This specific molecule has demonstrated significant interactions with the central nervous system, particularly in modulating serotonin and dopamine receptors. By influencing these vital neurotransmitters, saffronal provides a measurable physiological basis for the ancient claims that the flower could lift a heavy heart, change how our brains process emotion, and restore emotional balance. This dual action of colour and scent made the spice an indispensable tool in the ancient apothecary. Healers would carefully prepare a decoction, a method of extracting the active essence of a plant by boiling its tough stems or roots, though in this case gently steeping the fragile threads in warm water or milk. These golden liquids were administered with immense care, rationed drop by drop, to those suffering from deep afflictions of the spirit. The quiet wisdom of those early practitioners fueled a quiet revolution in holistic health that spanned continents. Ethnobotany, the study of how people of a particular culture and region make use of indigenous plants, reveals that this single flower influenced medical thought from Ayurvedic traditions in India to the monastic hospitals of medieval Europe. Its golden footprint is stamped across the foundational texts of global medicine. Recent double-blind, placebo-controlled trials have brought these historical texts back into the spotlight. Medical researchers are measuring how the combined effects of the stigma's compounds compare to synthetic antidepressants, finding statistically significant improvements in patients with mild to moderate depression. The ancient Persian prescription for melancholy is currently undergoing rigorous peer-reviewed validation, proving that the ancients possessed a profound understanding of botanical efficacy, yet the source of this power remains inextricably tied to the earth, demanding specific, harsh conditions to thrive. The corms of the crocus require cold winters and dry, scorching summers, a climatic stress that forces the plant to produce its protective, bioactive compounds. This environmental pressure is the crucible that forges the medicinal potency, a delicate balance of nature that cannot be easily replicated in a greenhouse. The lessons from those old ethnobotanical studies never faded, surging again during the Renaissance when the spice was believed to ward off the plague. Apothecaries fiercely guarded their supplies, and the sheer value of the threads led to widespread adulteration and strict, sometimes fatal laws against counterfeiters. The lengths to which societies went to protect the purity of this medicine underscore its perceived irreplaceability in the fight against disease. At the cellular level, we now see how these compounds act as a natural adaptogen, a substance that helps the body resist physical, chemical, or biological stresses. By modulating the body's stress response systems and reducing systemic inflammation, the crimson threads offer a generalized neuroprotective shield. It is a sophisticated, multi-targeted approach to healing that modern pharmacology is only just beginning to fully appreciate and map. Over centuries, the immense cost and the rise of synthetic medicines slowly shifted the flower's primary role. The potent medicinal treasure gradually transitioned into a luxury culinary spice, prized more for its flavor in elaborate feasts than its ability to heal the mind. The profound therapeutic knowledge of the ancients was quietly overshadowed by the gastronomic delights of the modern table. However, the growing movement toward holistic well-being is prompting a critical re-evaluation of this historical demotion. Can we reclaim the therapeutic heritage of the crimson threads without succumbing to the unsustainable pressures of its labor-intensive harvest? Scientists are now exploring sustainable cultivation methods and precise extraction techniques to make these powerful, mood-regulating compounds accessible to a world increasingly burdened by mental health challenges. This resurgence represents a beautiful symmetry in the history of human healing. We are returning to the wisdom of the ancient Persian physicians and the luxurious rituals of Cleopatra, but armed with the precision of modern analytical chemistry. The trade routes may have evolved into digital supply chains, but the core human desire to find solace and healing in the natural world remains entirely unchanged. As research continues to decode the intricate dance between Crocus, Saffron, and human biology, the future of this ancient flower looks remarkably bright. It stands as a premier example of how traditional knowledge can guide cutting-edge scientific discovery, transforming our understanding of how natural compounds make people feel. The golden threads are once again being recognized not just as a garnish, but as a vital instrument of health. The journey of Crocus sativus is a testament to the enduring power of nature's pharmacy. From the sun-baked fields of antiquity to the sterile laboratories of today, saffron has proven that its true influence extends far beyond its weight in gold. It remains a brilliant crimson bridge between the ancient instinct to heal and the modern quest to understand, forever changing how we view the profound medicine growing silently from the earth.